Good morning, everyone, or good evening, wherever you are in the world. It is so good to see everybody in here today. I'm happy you guys have decided to join the chat because there's going to be a lot of info in here. So let me just say good morning to Mr. Anon. Welcome back to Thailand. Robert N., good morning to you. And we have Prep for it. Good morning. Mr. Bob, hello. How are you? Tim, good to see you, brother. Ottoman Asia, good to see you. Who else we got? Robert Mack. Robert Mack is in the house. Hello, Robert Mack. And Mr. Mitch. Long time no see, buddy. Good to see you, man. Lyle. There's Lyle already. Good to see you, Lyle. Thank you guys for coming by. I really appreciate it. Mars Doria. Can't wait to go to Thailand. Rob P says, what's the scoop? Well, I'm going to read you the description of the video, and then we're going to go over all of this cool stuff. Where's Ross? Hey, there's Ross. Good morning, Ross. Hey, Griffin, Philthos, good morning, guys. Some of you guys that I talk to on a regular basis, the offline, I haven't been able to talk to this week because I've been extraordinarily busy looking for work. So that's really all I can say about that right now. More details to come on that. Travel TV, I'll be here for a few minutes, okay? No worries, brother. Let me read you the description. Today's video discussion will provide information to Thailand tourists, specifically foreign tourists. We'll be discussing the following points as they pertain to foreign tourists arriving in Thailand. Number one, the Phuket Sandbox model. The Phuket Sandbox model for foreign tourists. 2, what you need to know about Thailand's reopening plans. 3, the confusion, let me stress the word confusion, about or around the Phuket Sandbox model. Number 4, the slow vaccine rollout in Thailand. Number 5, why not traveling to Thailand in July 2021 is a good idea. Number 6, tracking and tracing applications for arriving foreign tourists in Thailand. Number 7, the 14 days tourists will spend on the island of Phuket before you can travel elsewhere in Thailand. That includes all the tests you have to take, the accommodations you have to set up, the whole 9 yards. Number 8, nightlife clubs and bars reopening in Thailand. Will they be or won't they be? Number 9, alcohol bans in Thailand. Number 10, alternative ways for foreign tourists to come to Thailand. Mr. Anon can help us fill in some of those gaps as we know it, as he just arrived in Thailand recently. Hello, Mr. Charles White. Good to see you, sir. I think I said hello to Griffin, but if I didn't, good morning to you, or good evening to you, Griffin. Confusion for the sandbox, understatement of the century. And that is the absolute 100% truth and on the understatement of the century. Let me be clear about one thing before we get started. Nothing has been published in the Royal Gazette. Okay. So about this Phuket Sandbox model, they're saying it's going to come out last week they said it was going to come out last week. Now they're saying it's going to come out this weekend. Today is, or at least here in Thailand, today is the 26th of June. Okay? To the best of my knowledge, we have 30 days in June. So, we're 4 days away from this ultimate launch of reopening Thailand to foreign tourism. And there is still no official policy posted in the Royal Gazette. That should give you an indication of where we're at with it in this process. Okay. And I'm going to go through some details today that are probably going to make some of you maybe shake your head, maybe question why you would want to come to Thailand. And that's okay right now because we're going to discuss the alternative methods. So before I discuss the actual Phuket Sandbox and all the confusion surrounding it, let's discuss the alternative method of coming to Thailand. Okay, you can come to Thailand with a 14-day ASQ stay. Basically, pretty much anywhere that offers ASQ hotels. All right, that's alternative state quarantine hotels, and you can stay there for 14 days. To the best of my knowledge, at this point, you do not have to be. Anon, you correct me if I'm wrong, but there's no requirement for vaccination on the 14-day stay in an ASQ hotel, to the best of my knowledge. Okay, so you can come to Thailand and go through that process. That is the alternative way to get there. Come to Thailand and get some VR glasses. I like that. How does business travel fit in this quarantine? It's an excellent question, Bob. They are trying to make certain provisions for businesses or people that have businesses here in Thailand to be able to fast track, but there are no, there's nothing written in stone yet. I can't answer you because the CCSA and the Thai government have not given us answers. we don't know. I would love to be able to tell you just straight up, this is, this is what's it's going to happen. So what I'm going to tell you today is what the proposals are and what seems to be happening, not only here in Thailand, but at your local Thai embassy in your home country. Hey, Jose, good to see you, bud. Charles White says correct. The 14-day ASQ is the only published way currently. Okay, good. Glad to get a little affirmation there. So let's go into this and let's talk about it a little bit, because there is some just unbelievable, 4 days away and we still don't know anything. I want to read you this first, because most of the people that are coming, now I won't say most, but you would think that the vast majority of people that hear Thailand's opening July 1st and I get to stay on Phuket, well, they're going to want to come and enjoy the nightlife, the women, the entertainment, alcohol, those kind of things. As of right now, there is no word on whether or not the word is that the bars, clubs, pubs, that kind of thing will not be open, and the only place you can buy alcohol will be in restaurants. So that's where we're at right now. But I caught this article in the Tiger yesterday, and if you know anything about what guest-friendly hotels are, or if you understand what that means, right? Places like Phuket, Pattaya, Chiang Mai, Bangkok, just about everywhere that there are nightlife venues, clubs, and pubs, there are also guest-friendly hotels, so that if you happen to meet someone, you can bring them to your hotel, right? Robert dropped the PayPal link. Thank you very much, Robert, for the PayPal link. If you would like to contribute to the channel, you may do so there. Greatly appreciated. Not required by anybody, but greatly appreciated. I'll pin that to the top of the page. And with my work situation, we don't have an answer yet on that, by the way. There's no telling. So anyway, PayPal link's up there if you guys want to use it. If not, no worries. I'd rather get you this information. So I'm going to read you this article from the Tiger. Charles says, with the PM visit to Phuket, they will open, or he will. Yeah, I'm going to have to remove that one just simply because of what you said, but you're 100% correct, Charles, on that one. Yeah. Are you going to be able to get private aerobic lessons in the room? I don't think so. Let me read you this is an article from the Tiger. I'm going to use many sources today. This will probably be a little lengthy live stream because there's so much information to cover and there's so many pieces of information that contradict each other. I want us to kind of sift through it and see if we can understand. No lessons. There you go, Travel TV. I like that. So, the headline of this article says, "Must you be married to share a room in the Phuket Sandbox?" Now, I want you to listen to the level of detail they give on this. All right. In an attempt to clarify, this is from the Tiger. In an attempt to clarify without actually clarifying the issue, the Phuket Tourist Association was compelled to release a follow-up statement in response to an off-the-cuff remark by an official that implied only legally married couples could share a room in the Phuket Sandbox rollout. Apparently, the grapevine went like this. During a Zoom meeting with the Association of Thai Travel Agents, the subject came up that perhaps international travelers in their SHA Plus certified hotels might wish to have visitors or overnight local guests. The president of the Phuket Tourist Association, his name starts with a B and his last name starts with an R. I'm going to call him Mr. B because it's a very long name. Made a comment suggesting that maybe only married couples could share a hotel room during the 2-week island quarantine period. Okay, let's back up. Exactly. Hey, Jose, exactly. All right, so let's back up. First, you got to make sure you stay in a SHA Plus hotel. Also, when you arrive at the Phuket airport, okay, you have to take an SHA Plus transportation vehicle. Like, you can't just hop in a taxi and go to your hotel. They have to be SHA Plus certified. All right, we're going to get into how much this is going to cost you in just a little bit. Let me continue to move on. But this guy made a comment saying that only married couples could share a hotel room during the listen to what he calls it, during the 2-week island quarantine period. Now, you guys heard that originally when they came out with this Phuket Sandbox model, there was absolutely no quarantine, right? That's what they said. No quarantine. But the fact of the matter is, 148 such properties exist in Bangkok. The requirement to be married is actually no longer a requirement for Q hotels now. 140 properties. Let me read on. Let me read on. I understand your point there. Yeah, disorganization. So just let me read on. So the guy that made the statement has been the mastermind behind the Phuket Sandbox project. Trying to pull the competing forces locally and nationally together to create a way for jabbed tourists to re-enter the country. Laterally, he's becoming more of a fixer as the initial sandbox plan became compounded with an increasingly long list of restrictions rather than the original tourist-friendly invitation back to Thailand. Because if you guys remember a couple months ago, they were all about welcoming back with open arms. Now it's welcoming back with multiple tracking apps, multiple testing, really restrictive rules, and I'm going to get into that. Travel TV says, I found some packages online with everything but flights and food, but some have free breakfast. Well, that would be cool. All right, Mr. Mitch, we'll wait on you. Well, I mean, we'll still be here when you get back. So it says, but back to who can stay with you during the 14-day stay on the island. Essentially, what they've done is created a 14-day queue, but you have to stay on the island for 14 days. Now, we don't know officially, but we've been told that restaurants will be opening, and you can buy alcohol at those restaurants. Now, let me share something with you before I continue in this whatever you want to call it. 30 and wake up. What's up, man? Good to see you. Let me be clear about something. In Thailand, in Phuket, in places like Phuket and Pattaya, the vast majority of people that are coming, you can okay, I won't let your comments distract me, Mr. Charles White. You're probably going to be looking for something that's guest friendly. Because there are going to be these girls that have been out of work. And I'm going to read you an article that's going to make your head explode a little bit later on in the live stream. These girls that have been out of work, these informal workers that work in the nightlife industry and work under Hybers, that work under the informal structure, right? They work in entertainment, that kind of thing. I can guarantee you they're going to be piling into Phuket. Okay. The problem is you're going to have to meet them online because the likelihood of them opening, and again, this could change when they publish it in the Royal Gazette. Anything can change. But as of right now, no nightclubs and no bars, none of that stuff are going to be open in Phuket during the Sandbox model. So you're going to have to meet your hey, Mr. Richard, good to see you. You're going to have to meet them online or whatever. Now, if you can't have some quality time, yes, there are websites and there are apps as well. If you can't have some quality time with some new people that you meet in, I'm being very intentionally vague here, but if you can't have some quality time for a personal trainer or aerobics instructor or whatever you want to call them, those people that have come back are going to be very saddened, and you are also likely going to be very saddened because there will be a flood for sure. Regular Joe Travels, what's up, brother? Hope all's well. Thank you very much for the super chat. Much appreciated. Ross says, walk around the mall or open areas, not hard to find short-term friends. I'm not saying it's hard to find short-term friends at all, Ross. I agree with that statement 100%. MySpace. That's a good one, Lyle. I like that. But it's not hard to find short-term friends while you're in Phuket. But if you can't share time together at your place, what are you going to do with your short-term friend? Let me carry on. The Phuket Tourist Association put out a follow-up statement which didn't seem to clear up much. Their statement mentioned Mr. B's comment and said it was referring to the situation of a tourist wishing to spend the night with a local Thai person. It then flatly stated the two people must be a married couple. The statement said bluntly that friends, unmarried couples, or a person who is hired to entertain, this is from the Tiger, not from me, okay, would not be allowed to share a room. Seemingly a definitive answer that only married couples could share a hotel room. The position was further muddied by the statement continuing, explaining the president was only referencing standard Thai law that needs to be considered, and that people wondering the answer to this question that could potentially double the cost of a couple stay in Phuket should wait for the official legal announcement for clarification. We would like to clarify, this is a quote, from the, I guess the little tourism thing in Phuket. We would like to clarify that the sentence was misunderstood because Mr. B explained that the stay together between foreign tourists and Thais can be done under the framework of law, which needs to be considered again. To not make any possible confusion, please wait for the clarity from the announcement by the Royal Gazette. Make sense? No? Don't worry. The back and forth continued as Mr. B then took to Facebook to clarify his statements. He seemed to say that his statement on the subject was merely an expression of his own opinion and nothing to be taken as official. He apologized for any discomfort caused by his words and vowed to be more careful when speaking. But his Facebook post also pointed at his position's irrelevance, as the Phuket Tourist Association has no authority to set the rules and conditions of the sandbox accommodations. He stressed that the PTA was a private organization not involved in creating the rules and urged people to wait for the proper officials to address the issue. If you are still confused, he offered this crystal clear explanations of whether unmarried people could share a room. Quote, the law should allow to do things under the framework such as those who had a marriage certificate. For other cases, it needs to be considered by relevant officials. If that doesn't tell you what kind of state of like chaos it's in, yeah, I know, right? That I don't know what to tell you, guys. If you're enjoying this content, please hit the thumbs up button. I would greatly appreciate it. Help get the word out and push the video on YouTube. Filtho says hopefully there will be daily pod office space available with the desk, for in-depth meetings over a desk. Stay creative, guys. I like that. Nobody wants to make the final clarify the clarification. Tim says nobody wants to make the final call. I agree. Prep for says if the only booze is in restaurants, you need to make a sexiest restaurant in Phuket video. That would be a good one for sure. No question about it. Now let's move on to was it the Pattaya news? I can't remember. It was one of them. Hang on a second. Okay. Jason, 20 Australian dollars in the super chat. Thank you so much, Jason. I appreciate that, brother. Very, very much appreciated. This article here goes on to explain. Wait, Charles, let's read Charles's comment. Jason, thank you again for the super chat. Really, really appreciate that. Charles goes on and says, makes no sense. Tourists coming to the Sandbox will have the magic shot, and supposedly 70% of island locals same. That number is not even close, and there's data to back that up. My concern is the domestic tourists coming in and causing a flare-up. Brother, we agree on something. That is precisely my position, and the numbers, I'm going to have to find them going through here, but the numbers of that 70% inoculation are not even, it's not even close. Not even close. So let me read you this article from the tpnnational.com. It says Phuket's C19 Official Information Center reveals more initial information and guidelines from the Phuket Sandbox project. Phuket's Official Information Center for C19, which I assume would be the CCSA, could be wrong, June 25th, so that was yesterday here in Thailand, has released the initial information and guidelines of the Phuket Sandbox Island reopening project for vaccinated foreign tourists and for local officials. The article mentioned the requirements and practices that all travelers must follow, but then it's got big bold. I hear you, Tim. JX says, so if I fly into Phuket, I guess I have to stay in Phuket for 14 days and 3 tests. Yes, you do. And those tests have to come out of your pocket, by the way. And I says, so bloody much fake news about this. It's not even funny. I blame the media for reporting everybody's mere musing. That's a fair point, and I don't disagree with that. What did Prep for it say? Charles, I didn't see Prep for its comment. If only, yeah. Definitely. Note is that in big bold letters, there's possibly more of a concern of Phuket workers leaving for other parts of the country, starting flare-ups all over the place. There you go. Agreed, by the way. Please note these are still subject to change, and the final set in stone orders have not yet been released in the Thai Royal Gazette. So all this stuff I'm about to read you is what they're proposing, but nothing's been set in stone. Before arrival, foreign travelers should be aware that they must, 1, come from countries or regions with a low to medium risk of the illness or of the virus as announced and constantly updated by the Ministry of Public Health, mostly in Thai. The final set in stone list should be in place when the Royal Gazette orders are published. 2, be fully vaccinated against the virus with a vaccine registered with the Ministry of Public Health or approved by the World Health Organization with no less than 14 days. Children under 6 years of age can be traveling with fully vaccinated parents or guardians. Next, provide a jab certificate to prove that they are fully vaccinated, a certificate of entry, a valid visa, the $100,000 US dollar health insurance policy. And I said they're trying to keep a 0 case operating policy while opening up for tourism. Good luck with that. Yeah, they've been above their, they've said if cases get above 90 a week or whatever, that it would be a problem and they could completely shut down the whole sandbox model and all that stuff. Those numbers are teetering on that already. So you have to provide a vaccine certificate to prove that you're fully vaccinated, a certificate of entry or COE, a valid visa, the $100,000 US dollars of health insurance, a confirmation of booking in a SHA Plus certified accommodation, and a medical certificate with a recent or with an this kind of test laboratory result indicating that the virus is not detected and issued no more than 72 hours before departure. Then you have to undergo immigration and customs procedures as well as C19 screening, including one of these. 3 times on the 1st, the day you arrive, the 6th, and the 12th day of arrival. This is at one's own expense. Today, by the way, just got the numbers: 4,161 new infections and 51 people who are no longer with us. And the numbers are going up. I mean, that they just are. They're averaging higher and higher every day here. You must then stay in an accommodation establishment under the amazing Thailand Safety and Health Administration, SHA, plus certification for 14 days before being allowed to continue the journey to other domestic destinations. Then, strictly follow the DMHTTA precautions to prevent the spread of the illness: distancing, mask wearing, hand washing, temperature check, testing, and alert application. Then, download and install 2 alerts and tracking applications, including the Thailand Plus application and the More China tracing application throughout their stay in Thailand. After spending 14 nights in Phuket and assuming you tested negative all the times, you are free to go anywhere in Thailand, but you must follow each province's restriction. So each province in Thailand will have their own restriction. Also, yeah, I hear you, Tim. I hear you loud and clear on that one. Charles says it's all speculation set in mud, and even after it's published in the Gazette, it can change on a dime. That's true. Look at the 10-day and 7-day ASQ that evaporated in no time. Very true. Anna says, Charles White, that 7-day Q thing was not, is what convinced me to get the jab. 2 days later, they yanked it. Filtho says, Anon, as stated in Bill and Ted, you may be a king or a little street sweeper, but sooner or later you dance with the reaper. I like that. Charles said, I just got mine a week after returning to the U.S. just to ease complicated BS. Oh, well. Lost keep count, 20 up, 3 down. Good. Let's get some more. Let's get some more thumbs up. Okay. However, so you can go to, however, one required to show proof that they have completed a 14-night stay in Phuket, along with other required documents according to the guidelines and measures announced in destined provinces. What that means, yeah, Lyle, you got a challenge? Well, you can throw it in there, bud. What that means, I want to be clear about what this means. That means that any province that you want to travel to in Thailand after the 14 days in Phuket, you have to know what their requirements are for you before you can go there. All right? You just because you passed everything in Phuket doesn't mean you're going to pass their requirements in their province. So you have to know these things before you travel. To me, this is not that. It's not. It doesn't sound like they want. It doesn't sound like a foreign tourist friendly scheme. It's more like a hey, we will let you in, but you're going to do everything that we want you to do to have the privilege of coming to Thailand. Don't get me wrong, coming to Thailand is a privilege, but this is going like, I don't know. I hope the Royal Gazette comes out with some good news. I really do. Anon says, fresh off the presses from the Phuket governor from 18 minutes ago. Give me a summary, Anon, because I don't have anything. I don't have any way of pulling that up, I don't think. Okay, Lyle says, get $70 in 30 minutes Okay, so that gives us till, okay, 30 minutes is fair. $70 and I'll throw in 30. PayPal and Cash App. Yeah, I probably should put my Cash App tag in there too. That would be great, guys. That'd be $100 for today, and that would be freaking awesome. So that would be great. Very, 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 very great. Let's see. 7, 4, 8. There we go. And there's Robert dropped the PayPal link again in there, and there's my cash tag app. If you guys want to meet Lyle's challenge, make Lyle pay. That's what I say. So some interesting stuff that's been going on around here is they talked about having a 7-day lockdown in Bangkok because the cases in Bangkok are pretty rough. And now it seems as though the PM has ordered a lockdown for certain southern provinces, I think. Chambree's closing some places. Let's see here. The headline reads, wait, there's Filthos. It's just officials playing hot potato or musical chairs. Wish I could be there to watch what happens when the music stops. If I didn't have to be impacted by it. Yeah. It's gonna be a little weird there. Tim, I see your comment up there about inviting. Yeah. Anon says, summary of difference. They want both more China and Thailand plus apps. They're both virtually identical. Yes, they are. I agree. Also, no mention about unmarried couples. Fair enough. So the headline here reads, Thai PM orders closures of all construction camp in Bangkok and its vicinity and for southern provinces for 1 month, effective next Monday. Somebody, and I won't call his name unless he wants me to, has started in a big way to meet Lyle's challenge, by the way. Thank you very much for this. Again, sir, I appreciate your help. Okay, so I can say it. I just won't show. I won't show anything. It says Ross covered half to make Lyle pay. So Ross just sent in $35. So that's $35. That's half the challenge right there, guys. Half the challenge has already been met by Ross. Ross, thank you very, 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 very much. In times like this, very much appreciated, brother. Very much appreciated. Thank you. Like, seriously, thank you. Big time, thank you. That should help. Surely we can come up with another $35, and there's 10 more coming in from Mr. Charles White. Love him. Thanks for stepping up there. Very much appreciated. Let me get the email here, and it just says Mr. Charles White, $10 US. $10 US. That's 45 that we have already. Very good, very good, very good, very good. 45. So we need what did it say? 70. So we need 50. Wait, no, that would be 60. My math is not working this morning. 10, 20, 30. No, $25. I think 25 left. I can't remember. But thank you guys so much. Tim says Ross stepping up. Yes, he did. I appreciate that very much. And I says also, when you are done with Sandbox, must have passport, visa proof, that negative swab test, evidence that you stayed in a SHA plus hotels during the 14 days. That's right. That's what they're looking for. Ross says that Tim, as my wife says, the people in charge are hourly employees. They can keep making changes. Great job security. You got a good point there, Ross. Very, very good point. Oh, Mr. Richard Cypress comes in with $10 more. Here, let me get the email pulled up. Here it comes. Mr. Richard Cypress, thank you so much, sir. I appreciate it very, very, very much. I'll cover his, it got his middle initial in there, so I don't want everybody to see that. But $10 there. So we now sit at 35, 45, 55. We need $15 to make law pay. $15 to make law pay. $15 to make law pay. That would be awesome. Thank you guys very much for the support. Very, very, very much appreciate it. And says that Ross bureaucrats need to justify their existence always. That's a fair statement. Tim says, Ross, I thought Thailand was ruled by one family. Wow. Got a $5 PayPal here from someone who says, can't wait to meet me one day. Let's see who this is. Email's coming through. I don't know if he wants me to show his whole name, so I won't. But he says he's got $5 US. That means we only need 10 more to meet the goal. I won't show his name, but $5 US, and it says, "Stay strong, brother. Can't wait to meet you someday." Fair enough. Fair enough. Thank you for the contribution. Very, very much appreciated. 30, 45, 55, 60. Need $10 to meet the challenge. Love it. Really appreciate you guys. Let's see. Let me scroll back up. We'll get Regular Joe Travel says, yes, sir. Okay. Thank you, Regular Joe Travels. Appreciate that. Actually, some of the hotels are reasonably priced according to the pricing, ASQ, so it's not just the big boys. Good. That's good information. Ross says, anyone moving money to oh yeah, good point, Ross. I'm glad you brought this up. Anyone moving money to Thailand this week got a nice boost. Bot went as high as $31.98 before falling to $31.81 for the weekend. That's 0.60 stronger than last week. So that's pretty good. Charles White says 15 more make law pay. Actually, now it's only 10 more. $10 more to make law pay, and we'll have a great day. Already got a super chat, and if we make 100 on PayPal, you're looking at one happy dude right here. Filtho says, Tim, I think the dynastic monarchy was replaced by the constitutional monarchy around 1932. Ross is answering Tim, talking about the government here. Ruled by one family, governed by many others. Fair enough. And I says, Tim, cheapest sandbox hotel listed as Thai 9,450 for the 14 days. So not too bad. Actually, that's not too bad for the 14 days. To be in a SHA plus hotel. That's not too bad. Ross says 94.50. That's less than $300 for 14 days. What food are they serving? Mama for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's funny. Anna says no meals provided. Go to SHA Plus restaurants. LOL. Then Ross says to Tim, many with government employees are elected. Some put themselves in charge. Fair enough. Law says 18 minutes left. I don't know if we're going to make it. Well, surely we'll make it. Surely somebody will come through with $10. Surely somebody will come through with $10. I feel like they will anyway. We usually don't have a problem meeting those. So let's go back and look at. Okay, first let me say, hey Frank, good evening. Good to see you, bud. Glad you were able to drop by. I appreciate that very much. So 1 month closure of Bangkok Southern work camps ordered. While Deputy Prime Minister, oh gosh, I hate it when this phone does that. Hang on 1 second, guys. Roy, good to see you, man. Just joined. Who is going to want to pay for 4 tests at over 3,000 baht for the Phuket Sandbox? Yeah, it's going to cost a little bit over 3,000 baht. Wow. We just hit the challenge. That is absolutely wonderful. Hey, Jay, good to see you, man. Mr. Lee has stepped up. Lee always steps up. Lee, I appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you very, very much. And he sent, I think I can show his whole name on here because he shows his whole name. $25. So challenge met, Lyle. Good job, buddy. He doesn't show his whole name. Sorry, Lee. I thought you had your whole name on there. It's okay though. Nobody else knows anything about you. Don't worry. But Lee has sent in $25 to exceed the challenge, and I appreciate that very, very much. Thank you, Lee. Very, very much appreciate it. Thank you, Ross. Thank you, everybody else that contributed. Richard and let's see who else we got here. Joseph. Joseph, I'll just say Joseph, won't say last name. And Mr. Lyle has sent in the 30 that he promised. Great job, guys. Teamwork makes the dream work. I love it. Thank you guys so much for everything. Really, 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 really appreciate that. Really appreciate it. That money goes a long way when you are lacking money or only receiving half month's pay in Thailand. I can guarantee you. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome. Just awesome at everything. Roy brings up a good point that I want to bring out. And I don't want to minimize the fact that we just met a challenge and exceeded it. So first, thank you, Lyle, for putting the challenge out there. That's freaking awesome. And you guys that contributed, love you guys. Thank you so much for your hard-earned money. I appreciate it very, very much. Thank you for keeping the channel going. I don't want to minimize my gratitude for that. So really, thank you. Last name, no problem. Okay, Lee says, okay, good. Thank you. Whew, I was a little nervous. But Roy brings up a good point. For all the tests you're going to need, it's going to be over 3,000 baht for the Phuket Sandbox model. I'm going to find the article in here that shows that, or that talks about the pricing of that as we come across it here. So we'll talk about that. Pete, what's up, buddy? Maybe a little hack for people. Anon says, Roy, when I was here in January, I was able to claim the cost of my swab test on my flex spending account from work. That is a good little hack. Very interesting. So this says, while Deputy Prime Minister and Public Health Minister, Mr. Anderton, I never pronounced his last name, claimed the situation in Bangkok hospitals was not critical. Senior doctors at many hospitals are proposing a 1-week full lockdown of the capital city. Now, we know now that it's down. That's not going to happen. They're not going to lock down for 7 days. So I really won't go into any more detail about that right now. In fact, let me pull out of this and go to some more relevant information regarding the sandbox model. Okay, first, so the online booking form for this is for people that are expats in Bangkok. I'm going to come back to the sandbox model in just a minute. The online booking form for immigration in Bangkok will be down for the foreseeable future while they improve the system. That was because of the data breach that happened recently. I think it was about 10 days ago. This comes from Richard Barrow, by the way. Should be fixed before July 19th, according to him, when it becomes compulsory to book online for more services. So now you're going to have to book where we used to be able to walk in and get things done at immigration. They're moving more and more to you must have an appointment at immigration. Just letting you guys know. Last I heard, 3,500 per swap. I heard something like that. We're gonna get to it. Might be wrong. I would use my HSA or Flex account. Awesome. Roy says, I flew from Bangkok to Phuket in March. There was nothing required, just your passport. Yeah, what a difference a few months can make, right? And says, Charles White, yep, that's what I did. Use my Flex spending account. Took care of the swab in the States before I left, and the swab in Bangkok Wahan Hospital before I went back to the States. Fair enough. Good idea. So, Thai embassies around the world. Again, this is from Mr. Barrow. He's tweeted that Thai embassies around the world have started to post information that people can apply for a COE or certificate of entry from Monday onwards. So that's Monday here in Thailand. Full details about the Phuket Sandbox is expected to be published in the World Gazette this weekend. And I have a graphic here that talks about the COE a little bit. And he goes on to make a very good point. The number of people in ICU and on vents are increasing every day. Sadly, he says going to see an increase in the number of people who are no longer with us, as of 51 being reported today. Just to give you an idea of the load that Thailand is seeing, heard it's Monday, 12 Thai time. Maybe Jose, that could be 100% correct. So to give you an idea of the trend of the cases Thailand's seeing, this is why it's going to be difficult, or in my opinion, there will be some difficulty in trying to find places to go after the 14 days in Phuket, is because of these numbers. 21st of June, 3,175 new ones, 29 people no longer with us. 22nd of June, 4,059 new ones, 35 people no longer with us. 23rd of June, 3,174 new ones, 51 people no longer with us. June 24th, 4,108 new ones, 31 people who are no longer with us. June 25th, 3,644 and 44 no longer with us. Today, June 26th, 4,161 new ones and 51 people who are no longer with us. The numbers are, the numbers just don't lie, and it's weird, man. Also, details about the Phuket Sandbox are expected to be published in the World Gazette this weekend. Again, I'm reading some tweets from Mr. Barrow here. There's a draft online of the countries that will be allowed to participate. It's based on the low to medium risk that the Thailand Authority of Tourism had the freedom to add a few more. We should get the finalists soon. Now, just for reference, the USA I saw was on the medium risk on one of the drafts that came out. So if that helps any, I'll maybe that helps. I'm not sure. They're talking about taking pre-orders for the mod jab, and that jab is let's see, cost is 1,900 baht per shot, which includes the hospital fee. You need to pay 1,200 baht per shot now, and then the remainder when you get vaccinated. Expected to arrive October through December. So, just a lot of conflicting information and a lot of things to go through. Now, we're going to hit my points here momentarily, but let me catch up on some of these comments because I love reading you guys' comments, and that's kind of what we do on this channel. Let me back up here. because I've been reading for quite some time and talking for quite some time. Let's see. Ross says, I was at immigration yesterday for 90-day report, and marriage renewal was in and out faster than going to the bank. That's awesome. That's really awesome. Hey, Jose says, heard this Monday. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe that's correct. Ross says, bank on Friday was packed. Took 20 minutes to get 3 pieces of paper needed for visa renewal. Foster says, I'm coming July 6th. Foster, I hope you watched the beginning of this live stream. SC says, how much money do you have saved, my friend? Very little. I did have a lot, but due to the furlough on the job, it's impacted very well. There's money saved, but, you know, with job opportunities out there and the possibility of me having to move to find a new job where I'm not working in a furloughed state, which is definitely coming up. I mean, either the furlough is going to be lifted at my job and things just go back to normal, or I'm going to have to find a new one I mean, there's just no other option, really. So there is some money saved. There's enough money that if I have to move, I can pay a deposit on an apartment somewhere and still have a little, just enough left over to cover expenses. But it depends on, you know, if I'm still working at the same job in July, it depends on if they're going to pay us no salary, half month salary, full month salary. Don't know anything. Only thing I do know for sure is that I'm currently set to receive a half month's wage in June, which should come in at the end of this month. And because of the just outstanding generosity of people on this channel, we were able to have a day, I think about 3 weeks ago, where I made almost a month's salary, and put all that's saved up for in case I have to move provinces, in case I have to move locations here in Bangkok. I do have some prospects on the line, which brings me to channel members. Channel members, listen. Tomorrow, after the regular live stream, I'm going to have tomorrow's live stream should be shortened because channel members will have I'll shut this live stream down, start a new one for channel members, and I'll explain to you what's going on as far as the job situation, job search, possibilities I'm looking at. I'll explain all that to you guys, and you will get the full scoop. And we can also talk about anything that you guys want to talk about. So that'll be our. We've had some live streams this month, but it hasn't been like the official live stream for channel members this month. So definitely gonna try to do that tomorrow. After the initial live stream, we will do the channel members live stream. Let's see. Anon put a link up there. Updated cases by province. That's good. Roy says just had the Who saying we can't call them out by name. Unfortunately, Roy, I'm sorry. I'm going to remove that. I don't doubt you. Just we can't call out those names. I'm sorry. YouTube has a problem with it. I don't know why, but they do. Updated cases by province. Very good. That's something that you guys will need to consider when coming to as a foreign tourist. We have a new channel member. Who is that? Who that? Oh, Mr. Steve Banfield. Welcome to the members section of DoMoreLife. Welcome aboard, and thank you very much for becoming a member. much appreciated. Much appreciated. And enjoy all the extra content that's already on in the member section. I hope you find a lot of value in there. If you guys don't know and you want to be a member, it's only $2.99 a month. You can cancel anytime. There's several pieces of content, and well, there's quite a bit of content there that I don't put on this part of YouTube. It's easy and it's less than a cup of coffee. So you want to be a channel member? Just hit the join button below this video. It'll walk you right through the process. Charles says, what happened to what the PM said? We need to learn to live with it as if it's going to be with us forever and stop trying to manage it. You know what, bud? That is a very good question. Because I think it's fair to say, maybe I'm wrong, but I think it's fair to say that it's being, I hesitate to use the term overmanaged, but it's definitely being micromanaged right now. And we'll have to wait, we'll have to wait and see what the Royal Gazette actually publishes. And I will bring you guys up to speed on that. And Foster, as far as you coming on July the 6th, all I can say is I really hope that you have refundable tickets and refundable reservations, that kind of thing, because I just don't know that unless you're a seasoned Thailand expat, you've been here many times, and that kind of thing, then you probably may not be in for quite the warm welcome that you think you're going to be in for. Unfortunately, and for that, I'm really sorry. But if you're a seasoned vet in Thailand, no problem. You shouldn't have an issue at all. Great point, Charles, about the remarks that were made. And if we're going to learn how to live with it, then what's the purpose of the LDs? If we're going to learn how to manage it, then why not seek more effective treatments for the illness instead of pushing these jabs. I encourage all of you to do your diligence, as I have done recently, on the jabs, because it is I'm learning more and more, and I just encourage you to do so. Let's see. Anna says, Foster says, good for you. Yeah, it's good that you're coming. Hopefully you can report back to us some good information. Travel TV says, back, did I miss much? We had a challenge. We went over some more information. I don't think you missed too much, Travel TV. Phuket or 2-week queue? That is a good question. That depends on where he's coming. Lyle, good question there. Roy says, have you tried Cambly? They arrange students that you can teach online. You know what? I forgot about Cambly. I'm going to put that in my notes right now, because there is a certain number of things that I'm going to do no matter what kind of job I wind up with, or if I stayed at the job I'm at. I've heard a lot of good stuff about Cambly, how easy it is to apply and all that stuff. So as soon as I find out what my, just to give you guys a little clue here, if you want, for the channel members, I'm going to know a lot more information by Tuesday. Okay. So, I'm going to explain all that in tomorrow's live stream after the regular live stream. And you guys can tell me what you think, because I definitely want to hear your opinion. Definitely. That's what you guys are for. Thank you for the reminder, Roy. I needed to hear that. I really appreciate it. Filtho says, Dr. P in my face. Fancy Pants has suggested that Thailand move off the modern medical germ model and return to the belief that sickness is caused by evil spirits, which the doctor will bless with all flights. I love you, man. I'm gonna take that one down just for YouTube purposes, but that's awesome. Done and just as effective. I like that. Steve, welcome. Yes, definitely welcome, Steve. Steve's been around the channel a long time. I'm glad he's a member. Robert says channel membership. There's the link. You can actually just click on that link if you want to be a channel member. Charles says nice photo shoots in the members area. Yes, sir. There are some nice photo shoots in there. Griffin's welcoming. And Steve Dunn, good to see you, man. Robert B, how are you, sir? Good to see you. Anon says interesting thing. DoMoreLife, there were a grand total of 2 Farang on my flight to Bangkok. Rest were Thai people. That is interesting. That is interesting. Lyle says you're preoccupied. Good for you. There you go. Nice reflection in your glasses. P says, is there more negative tone against foreigners? So that is an excellent, outstanding question. Anon says he's answering your question, Pete. He says, everybody has been good to me so far. Immigration officer joked with me about going back to my girlfriend after getting done with Q. Very lighthearted. I suspect that you will see a lot of niceness in the Thai people until your test says something other than negative. And then I think you'll get the you may receive the dirty foreigner treatment. I believe that because that's just how it works here. NASDAQ Poppy, is Thailand back open? Thailand's technically been open for a long time. You can get in here, but the Sandbox model in Phuket is what we were focusing on. That starts July the 1st. You're welcome to go back and listen, check out the details. Robert B says, serious question, at hotels are the bum guns clean between guests? Yes they are. That's a good, hey, that's a fair question, man. I always, when I go to a hotel, I always carry a bottle of rubbing alcohol with me and make sure that I clean those, because that is a source of potential problem. So, but it's a good question though. Steve says, I thought the PM said the right things the other day, just hopefully he follows through. Yeah, I agree. Steve, 100%. I agree with that statement 100%. I thought that he said the right things. Absolutely. I was waiting to hear those things that he said. I thought he said all the right things. But whether they follow through with that plan, they're already talking about LDs here, LDs there, all these superimposed restrictions for the Phuket Sandbox model. Again, they're not official at this time, at the making of this video, not official. So there could be many things that change. However, the second part of your statement there, just hopefully he follows through. That's what I'm hoping for. And let me give a disclaimer too. Number one, I absolutely love Thailand. Okay. I absolutely love it here. If I didn't, I would already be back in the US or in another country. Number two, I believe the Thai government has done what they consider to be their best job and given their best efforts to control the situation. Okay. Number three, no country in the world was prepared to deal with this kind of illness. Okay. And Thailand is no different. They weren't prepared either. So they're trial and error as they go. Number four, Thailand has taken an extremely safety conscious approach to reopening for tourism and just for the general safety of the people that are here in country already. I cannot fault them for that. No matter how much no matter the actual intent behind it or how aggravating some of the restrictions may be, you can't fault them for trying to protect their people. Number five, I lay no I lay no like adverse remarks or negativity towards the Thai government or its affiliate agencies, such as the CCSA or TAT, in any way, because this is a trial and error process. However, we everybody has their own opinion about the way things should be done, and then some of us have opinion about things that could be done differently. And those are the things I'm trying to tell people. Like, give the sandbox time, let it develop. I guarantee you there will be changes. Okay, they've already said that they have 1,500 flights or 1,500 passengers booked. On flights to come into Phuket, I believe in July, or after the sandbox opens. Maybe that's true, maybe it's not. We don't know for sure, and that's one the not knowing and the uncertainty is the thing that is driving people crazy right now in Thailand, and that's a huge point that I wanted to make. Now, Lyle says 26 thumbs up and 5 down. Your troll power is working tonight. Good. I have no problem with the thumbs down. But make sure you guys that do like this content, give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. 50 watching, hit that thumbs up. Absolutely, Lyle. Thank you, bud, for being a cheerleader. I appreciate that a lot. Anon says Steve Banfield, PM has to fight between two groups, business owner, venues, and the docks. That's true. That's very, very true. And the business owners, particularly in Pattaya, I've read articles this week, are just drying up. Let me tell you how bad the situation is in Pattaya right now. This is one of those things that almost goes to be in the unbelievable section. Sorry guys, my phone keeps refreshing here. Let me get to this, because this is some information. This is going to tell you how serious Pattaya or the government in general is about keeping everybody safe here, etc. As soon as I find it, let's see. Yeah, TAT claims 1,500 travel. Oh, it says 1,500 travelers arriving in Phuket July 1. So we'll see about that. Where was the... Sorry for the delay, guys. Here we are. Here's the article. Okay. This is very important because I want you guys to understand that informal workers, like your fitness trainers, drinking companions, whatever you want to call them, some people refer to them as BGs, maybe. They've been out of work so long, the only way that they can make money is online. Okay. And I don't just mean on the Line app. I mean like online. Like a lot of these businesses in Pattaya and other places are having the girls just dress up. They're fully clothed, but they dress up, and people from around the world can buy them drinks, tip them via PayPal or some other Cash App, whatever the case may be. And that's how they're making a living. Okay. Let me read you this article. This was 2 days ago, on Thursday, the 24th. It says BGs, so the informal workers that work at these bars, in Pattaya, arrested for allegedly violating C-19 restrictions while live streaming. Yesterday evening in Pattaya, 29 out-of-work drinking companions and one foreign national were arrested by Chonburi police. They allegedly broke the C-19 rules as they gathered in a small area to live stream performances for overseas customers. The entrepreneurs were allegedly filming themselves either solo or in groups as they danced and interacted with guests for virtual drinks that were redeemable as a commission. Somebody said, read the challenge. Challenge. Another challenge? Law says, challenge. Get 80 USD now until the end of the live stream. I'll throw in 20 more. Make me pay. Wow, Law. That's awesome, dude. Get 80 more and 20, and you'll throw in 20. That's a tough challenge. I don't know if we'll get it, but we'll see, bud. We'll see. 80 USD, and you'll throw in 20 to make another 100. That would be a great day for DoMoreLife, by the way. Great day for DoMoreLife. Really appreciate that. And Robert has attached the PayPal link again, and just for the purpose of making sure that everybody has it, to help meet your challenge, Lyle, I'll throw my hashtag app in there in case anybody wants to use the hashtag app. Lyle, thank you for throwing out the challenge. I don't think we'll meet it, but if we do, that's freaking fantastic, man. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you, Lyle. Thank you very much. When I'm done reading this, I'll go back and catch the comments. Now, so the entrepreneurs were allegedly filming themselves either solo or in groups as they danced and interacted with guests for virtual drinks that were redeemable as commission. So they're trying to make money, right? They're dancing around, trying to make money on a live stream. Now, this is to the best of my understanding, most of these live streams are posted on YouTube and on non-monetized channels. So you can't do you can't remove clothing and that kind of thing on YouTube, or they'll shut your live stream and channel down. Ross, you know, one of the girls got arrested. That's sad. Robert V, how much was contributed in the first challenge? We reached just a little bit over $100. Just a little bit over $100. I can't. I don't. The fees vary on the amount of money. It's 3% for PayPal. So I know Lee came in with the $25 contribution, which put us about $15 over $100. So after fees, we probably broke right at about $100, which is outstanding, by the way. However, the entrepreneurial venture was crushed when Chonburi's Special Operations Unit staged a raid to break up the alleged illicit gathering in Banglamung. Banglamung is basically Pattaya, that area. I see, Ross. Oh, Griffin has sent $20 for the challenge. Make Lyle's dream come true. I like that. Let me show you guys this real quick, and I'll continue reading about the literal state of desperation that we're in right now. Hang on one second, guys. Let me get it up there. Let me send Griffin a heart for his contribution. Make Lyle's dream. I'll cover it. He's got his whole name there, but I'll cover his name up. And it just says, make Lyle's dream come true. Thank you, Griffin. Appreciate that. Yeah, Ross, I'm going to get to that in just a second. Let me go back to where I was. So, they used the special operations unit raided to break up the live stream. Chonburi police say live streaming has been increasingly popular as entertainers have been out of work due to the restrictions. They add that the entertainment sector has received no financial assistance for the government, which is true because they're informal workers. C-19 restrictions had decreed that all entertainment venues in Thailand were to be closed to prevent spread. This has put an estimated tens of thousands in Pattaya alone out of jobs. Some estimates say that 80% of Pattaya area's GDP comes from tourism. That's not something people say. That's an actual number. That's real. The women were not identified by name to the media. Police Colonel Tanyuwat, last name starts with a C, He expressed his sympathies with the unemployed as well as those trying to find a new source of income. However, he says the overall issue is having small groups together without adhering to proper social distancing rules. He did not comment on the solo work or whether he was a fan of the videos. The women were taken to a local police station for further legal proceedings. Live streaming equipment was taken as evidence. Last year, the Tiger wrote how Pattaya entertainment workers were turning to YouTube for supplemental income. Some of the videos have been taken down. It's sad. It's really sad. I think that how are these people supposed to make money? That's what I don't understand. Like what are they? I don't get it. Ross doesn't agree either. He says the same girls live and work together. There could have been 50 of them, but they all stay in their small bubble. I mean, I can't comment on it too much, but I can say that I understand your frustration there, Ross. I was frustrated by the situation also because, like, what are they supposed to do? Most of the girls that work in the nightlife and entertainment industry, they don't have college degrees and places that they can go to work and things like that. So they're online, not doing anybody any harm at all. And I agree. You have to understand that these girls live and work. They live in a little bubble, right? They all live in basically the same location. They technically they violated the emergency decree, which doesn't allow the gatherings. Should police look over stuff like that? That's up to you as a person to decide. Me personally, if it would have been my situation, I would have looked over it. That's just me. Law says, thanks to Griffin. Yes, thank you, Griffin. We 20 in. We need 60 more US dollars to meet Lyle's second challenge. We'll see if that happens or not. Very interested to see. Ross says his issue, he was not getting a cut of the money coming in. That very well may be true. I don't know. Filtho says, coming to Fox in the spring, Thailand BBU. Boom, boom. That's hilarious. Anon says, DoMoreLife, maybe the girls are supposed to farm rice back home. Maybe they're supposed to. But typically what I've found is that people, or the girls, I should say, that come to work in the informal jobs in Pattaya, Phuket, wherever the case may be, they do it to send money back to their families. Many of them have children that live with their families back in the villages, and they send money back to the family to support the family. I've been talking to Thai people that actually do this kind of thing, and that's what they've told me. It's just a sad situation. Robert says, I would rather the girls do it that way. That's fair enough. To each his own when it comes to the opinion there. Eric, I cannot put your comment up, but I will say I will read as much of it as I can. There's a comment by Eric that's held for review. He says that some of the Thai friends are telling him that they are. Robert, why'd you do that? That they are going very hungry, and if they don't get back to work soon, things are going to be very, very bad. I 100% agree with you, Eric. And personally, I hope they find a way to get back to work as soon as possible. And I says, or sell, I don't want to pronounce that. I may say it wrong. Tide dessert on the side of the road. There are a lot of things they could do. But yeah, I also have to remember these girls are used to living life, a certain lifestyle. And I know about habits and lifestyle and the hustle, right? That's what they're used to. They're not used to going back and farming. How you make money farming rice, you can't provide for the family 10,000, 15,000 baht a month farming rice. I don't think, not to my knowledge. So, I'm not promoting what they do. I'm just saying that once you get into that lifestyle, it's got to be hard to come back, right? It's got to be hard to find something different to do. I agree that some of the people that are in these informal jobs have moved on to other things like cooking food and selling it on the street. They've done many different applications. They've some of them are knitting swimwear. I've seen that happen. I've seen them do all kinds of things, selling handmade jewelry. It's, but again, I'm not here to judge anybody on what they do. Charles says not everyone has rice to farm or any family farm, just a small house in the sticks. That's a fair point, Charles. Fair point. Anna says the above are my sentiments, but what apparently the powers that be must be thinking. Ah, gotcha. Understood. Ross says the girls went to the city for 3 reasons: money, money, and a chance to find foreign man. With no foreigners, only thing left is need for money. I think that's a fair statement, Ross. Just so you know, the embassies here are I want to point this out. The embassies, your home country embassies, like the U.S. Embassy, the Australian Embassy, the UK Embassy, they are not going to be really helping with getting a vax for expats that are living here. That's actually not part of their role, and they're not going to be helping. So I just want to lay that out there for you guys that are curious about whether or not there'll be any assistance there. I doubt it very, very seriously. 60 to go in Lyle's challenge. And I wanted to read the funny thing about the list of the high, I posted this to the group and on my Facebook post the other day. The funny thing about the list of high, medium, and low risk countries is Thailand actually has themselves considered a high risk country on the thing that they post. So this is one more important piece of information I wanted to cover. Anutin, which is the health ministry guy, says health system won't collapse despite shortages. After a senior doctor said the situation outbreak was critical and suggested a 1-week LD in Bangkok, Deputy Prime Minister and Public Health Minister Mr. Anutin reassured people that the health system will not collapse with a rise in new infections. Available hospital beds are getting scarce, and there are shortages of medical staff despite the reassurances of Anutin. This is from the Tiger, by the way. Anutin scolded those worrying about shortages that they should not use the word collapse when discussing Thailand's public health system. He asked they instead work together to improve the situation and suggest the possibility of mobilizing all national health personnel and resources. Despite Public Health Minister Anutin putting on a smiling face, reports from the ground suggest shortages and a much more dire situation. At Ramatabadi, I hope I said that right, hospital, The head of the emergency medicine division took to Facebook to warn people to keep their guard up and follow all the C-19 safety precautions. He said that ICU beds are full and staff have to begin to make the tough choices of who will receive ICU treatment and who won't due to space resources or sparse space resources. It went this far. Testing for the virus was canceled for 4 days this week at another university because of bed and staffing shortages. The chief of the Center for Emerging Infectious Diseases said that many people returned later in worse condition after being turned away earlier. He laments that the passive screening in place instead has been proven ineffective and can't stop the outbreaks from spreading. The public health minister says the suggested LD could be considered, but must be weighed against the economic effects. We already know that's not going to happen. This is a couple of days old. They're trying to reduce the 14-day treatment plan to 10 days, send patients home to self-isolate, to free up 40% more beds. So, the treatment, I mean, it is what it is. And you're seeing a little uptake in crime here. Let me give you a brief example. This is, and I personally believe this uptake in crime is coming from the lack of income and the continued job shortages, right? So, Pear was arrested for stealing prepaid phone cards worth 240 million baht, take home at least 150 million baht. That's something we don't see every day. Anon says, agree with what you said about embassies. However, France did a little something different. There's a link there. You guys can check that out. I read that this morning. Feel free to read that out. I'm not trying to minimize what you're saying there, Anon, but France was able to do something a little bit different. There was illegal cigarette shipment busted, valued at 30 million baht. Griffin says, make Lao pay, we can do it, make Lao pay. Yes, we need 60 more US dollars to make Lao pay. 60 more and Lao will pay. I'd love to hit that goal. That would be awesome. So apparently illegal brands of cigarettes were shipped in and busted, valued at 30 million baht. A man allegedly steals almost 300,000 baht from a monk. This is all within the last few days, okay? There was I won't read it because it's about violence and I don't want to put that on YouTube. So those are just some things that I felt like were important that you guys could probably, or that you guys should know. Unfortunately, there was a man who went in, allegedly, who shot a hospitalized patient and a convenience store clerk in Bangkok on Friday, which was yesterday here. And I says, DoMoreLife, whenever an embassy does something for expats, it's not for the expats, it's for the foreign image of the country. Don't count on embassy from any country to help you out, ever. You are correct. I don't disagree with that. Chambri cases are going up. That's not good. Not good at all. On Friday, they reported a drop to 183 cases with one person no longer with us. That's still not good for Chambri as a whole because they're looking to come back and do things. Now, let me go back to my original description and make sure that we've covered all the points that I wanted to hit this morning in this video. So, one, the Phuket Sandbox model for foreign tourists. I think we covered that pretty well. There's going to be a lot of hiccups that I can almost guarantee you that there will be many changes made to it. And I think the changes will come because of two reasons. One, people are going to be, not everybody, but some people are going to be unhappy um, with the situation that they're in once they get to Phuket. And then others are going to flock to social media to tell their friends not to come to Phuket because of all the measures that are in place, the restrictions, the things that they can't do. If you're a beach bum and all you want to do is hang out on the beach all day and you don't want to drink while you're on the beach, then you might not have any problems with the sandbox model. It may be just the thing for you. But I have a feeling that the vast majority of people are not going to see it that way. Number two, what you need to know about Thailand's reopening plan. So we've talked about the reopening plans and how they plan to carry it out. They're so focused on this Phuket sandbox model right now that the other provincial governors, such as the governor of Chonburi, where Pattaya is located, is trying his best to procure his own set of vaccines and own set of, I guess, rules and regulations so that they can open at the end of August is what he's shooting for. The original intent by the government was October. Now, whether that happens or not, I don't know. Anon says Beach Bum is good, like Beach Bum, but not with the sandbox model, at least not yet. Fair enough. Three, the confusion around the sandbox model. We definitely talked about the confusion around that earlier in the slope. Number four, the slow vaccine rollout in Thailand. So, really, what's behind the underlying cause of not having foreign tourists in Thailand or not having a foreign tourism industry in Thailand right now is the lack of vaccines. That's it. That's what, or maybe I shouldn't say the lack of the jabs. I should say the lack of getting the jabs into people. Okay. They've had websites up before that have crashed. They have websites up that revealed everybody's personal information. They had to take down or redo. But the overall problem with no tourism and or very little foreign tourism in Thailand right now is simply the lack of the population being vaccinated. Why not traveling to Thailand in July 2021 is a good idea. It's a good idea. I'm referring to the sandbox model in Phuket. Okay, if you want to come in and do a regular 14-day queue at an ASQ hotel like Anon's doing, great. But if you want to come in and try to do the sandbox model, there's going to be, and even if you do the 14-day queue like Anon's doing, there's still going to be a bunch of red tape when you go from province to province to province, because different governors have different ideas of, everybody in Thailand is scared to death of this illness. Okay. I mean, terrified of it. I've told you where I stand on it. My stance has changed completely. To me, I'd rather get the illness than get the jab. That's my personal opinion. However, I also understand that I'm going to have to get the jab. I understand that. So I'm not anti-jab. Don't get me wrong here. I'm just talking about for me personally. Philto says, I think the lack of jabs is being used as an excuse for lack of consent, effective leadership. The lack of jabs itself speaks to the leadership. You make a very good point. Because there are many citizens here that I talk to personally that are not interested in getting the jab. So that's a fair point, Philto. It's very, very fair point. So the reason I say it's not a good idea to travel in July of 2021 is wait until August and September. Let them fix the hiccups in the problem first. Because essentially the Phuket Sandbox model is a trial run for opening the country, and it's up to you whether or not you want to be the test subject. Basically, I personally, if it was me, I would wait a month or two, let them work out some kinks, and then you would probably find a much smoother transition. Steve says, I dropped 1,800 baht to possibly get the jab in maybe October. LOL. Wow. Wow. Anna says at Filthos, I think the media is driving a lot of this stuff too much. Unverified fake news based on rumors, get people too emotional. That's a fair point, and very fair point. The media does have to be careful. While they have a job to report, that's why I'm very selective in the news that outlets that I source from, because some of the outlets, and I'm not going to call them out by name, but some of even the more popular outlets tend to run a lot of headlines to get clicks, in my opinion. And it's I don't know. I don't trust some of it. Number 6, tracking and tracing applications for arriving tourists in Thailand. So we talked about for foreign tourists coming in having to have both of the tracing apps while you're here in Thailand for the duration of your stay, no matter where you go. Number 7, the 14 days tourists will spend on the island of Phuket before you can travel elsewhere in Thailand. What are you going to do in 14 days? Only alcohol you can buy is in restaurants as of right now. Again, not official, but that's what they're telling us. And there are beaches in Phuket, nightclubs, entertainment, nightlife, that kind of thing. If you want to meet girls, it's going to have to be done online. I don't know. Lyle says 31 up, 6 down. Those are good numbers. I appreciate the thumbs up, guys, very much. And we have 60 USD left to go in Lyle's challenge, because if we get 60, Lyle will give an additional 20. So just letting you guys know. And he said we had till the end of the live stream, which is coming up in about roughly 8 to 10 minutes. 8, nightlife, clubs, and bars reopening in Thailand. We don't see this happening over Thailand. Not really anywhere that I've seen where nightclubs and bars and nightlife venues are reopening. I haven't read about it in the news. Maybe somebody knows something I don't. But I haven't seen anything to suggest that that's what's going to happen. I haven't seen anything to suggest that that's what's going to happen in Phuket either. So what are you going to do when you get to Phuket, right? We don't know. We don't even know if you're going to be able to bring a guest back to your hotel room or not at this point, because of the confusing information. Number 9, alcohol bans in Thailand. Currently, there's alcohol bans almost everywhere. There's some kind of restriction on it, whether it be a curfew, a certain time where you can sell alcohol. But many places that are either red or dark red zones that the CCA has classified, alcohol is just not being sold at all. And number 10, alternative ways for foreign tourists to come to Thailand. So, Lyle says 49 on live stream. That's $2 each. That would be an awesome way to reach 60. Lyle, good math there, buddy. Good math. The alternative ways to come is the 14-day standard queue to come to an ASQ hotel. I think that's you can go pretty much anywhere. Bangkok is a good place to do a 14-day ASQ and then go wherever you want to whatever province. But remember, you have to know, like, the province you want to travel to. You have to understand their restrictions and what they expect of you before you get there. So these are all things that you guys need to be made aware of, and I really hope that that you take these things into consideration. I'm trying to find the one article real quick if I can, guys, because it was talking about. Here's something very interesting. This was the other one I was looking for. Airlines participate in trials of IATA Travel Pass app. Anon says 14-day queue is the best way to go for now until they figure out the sandbox stuff. I have to say I agree with you, Anon. In this article, a number of airlines worldwide are participating in trials of a travel pass app from the International Air Transportation Association. TTR Weekly reports that Montreal Trudeau Airport in Canada, Air France is trialing the app for outbound flights until July 15th. Just one of a number of airlines testing it globally. The app is designed to ease passengers' concerns about travel and C-19 certification requirements. Passengers will be able to use the app to check the latest entry requirements for their destination. Test results can also be sent directly to the app via partner laboratories. Documents related to a passenger's status. We just got a $5 PayPal. Can be stored securely on the app, allowing travelers to present them to airlines and airport authorities when requested. I'll come right back to that in just a second. Let's give credit for the $5 PayPal. Mr. Ralph sent a smiley face and also sent $5. $5. So now we need $55. Lyle, we're still chipping away at it, bud. Maybe we'll get there. I don't know. I have no idea. It's been a good day so far, though, guys. Really appreciate everybody. Let's see. Can be stored, allowing travelers to present themselves to airlines and airport authorities when requested. In the Montreal trial, C-19 testing is carried out at a dedicated facility at the airport. Passengers booked to fly to Paris with an Air France receive a notification via the app a few days beforehand, with the testing available on the day of departure. For unvaccinated travelers over the age of 11, the Vice President of Air France KLM Canada says the app offers travelers a secure way in which to store their test results and speed up checks at the airport. Quoting, "So we may improve our customers' experience. Our team is delighted to be trialing this digital solution that enables passengers to safely store their test results and thus streamline their time at the airport." So I thought that was something interesting for you guys. Yes, Ralph rocks. Lyle is we're trying to get Lyle, trying to make Lyle pay is what we're trying to do here. And we need what do we need now? $55 more for that, I think. I want to go back because there was a very, very, very one last story I wanted to read you guys. Because tomorrow, unless we get some terrible news today, tomorrow's live stream is going to be a little bit different. Yeah, 55 more USD. Got you, Lyle. Anon says, while not a part of this trial, my airline asked me to email all of my stuff so they could check it online before I showed up at the airport. Save some time. That's probably not a bad idea. Probably not a bad idea at all. They actually have an article that says myth busted, drinking alcohol does not kill C-19. I don't know who came up with that theory, but whatever. Hang on, guys. Bear with me. Because there were... Yeah, so one highlight 2 days ago, Chonburi governor says Pattaya bars will stay closed for now as the cases remain high. There was one really good article in here that I wanted to read for you guys, but I may not be able to find it. They claimed 3 days ago that shipment of 2 million Sino jabs arrived from China. So that's good news. I don't think I'm going to be able to find it. There was something else in here I wanted to be able. Oh, yeah. Here we go. This is something I posted. If you guys didn't read it, that's okay. This says, and this is from 3 days ago on Wednesday. It says, Sandbox could be revised or canceled if outbreaks occur. With Phuket scheduled to reopen to international travelers next Friday, the CCSA has put together a Plan B for closing Sandbox in case of outbreaks. Deputy Director General of the Department of Information, we'll call him Mr. N, who also acts as the deputy spokesman for the Foreign Affairs Ministry, outlines possible scenarios in an English address during the CCSA National C19 briefing yesterday. The Deputy Director General said that if things worsen considerably after reopening, plans could be reconsidered or halted. If outbreaks increase rapidly in Phuket once the province opens to international travelers on July 1st, 2021, revisions to the sandbox may be necessary. Some outcomes would be the possibility of implementing restrictions on activities. I don't know what kind of activities they're going to restrict because there's not many activities that you can do to begin with. Yes, Lee, the whole situation is fluid. I agree 100%. Absolutely. Some outcomes will be the possibility of implementing restrictions on activities and businesses that might be high risk for the spread of infection. This scenario would be rough as bars and nightlife venues are currently fighting and petitioning the government to be allowed to be to reopen. Another possible action would be adding a hotel queue to reduce an incoming spread of illness, or creating a sealed route plan, that's in quote, sealed route plan to isolate tourism. If outbreaks occur on a larger scale, it's possible the sandbox plan could be canceled completely. Nata Panu reminds everyone that this is a sort of doomsday contingency plan and hopes that the infections are minor and can be handled and contained. He points out that Phuket is now ranked 28th in Thailand for provincial infection and is improving. Quoting, he says, of course, this is in preparation of a worst case scenario if the province opens and something adverse happens. There are more cases and we are not able to control the infections in the province, then this would be the consideration. End quote. Some possible scenarios that could prompt a reconsideration of the Phuket Sandbox reopening would involve indications of outbreaks. If more than 90 people a week get infected, the government would likely make changes to the program. Even without that 90-person target, if infections reach across more than 6 villages in all 3 districts of Phuket, the spread area would be considered a danger and spurn action. Both of those sandbox affecting scenarios point to visible outbreaks of the illness affecting many people or many locations, or both. Lack of information could be another cause of concern, though, and if officials find the infections cropping up without being able to follow the history through contact tracing or find any links to known infections, the mystery could be a major cause for concern. Finally, if hospitals run the risk of being overwhelmed treating infections, this creates a health crisis even for those not infected but unable to get their other medical treatment. If hospital bed capacity reaches above 80% in Phuket due to outbreaks, officials may pull the plug on the sandbox scheme. So, basically, nothing's guaranteed. That's the main thing I wanted you guys to take away is nothing is guaranteed in here. It is what it is, and that's just a bad situation. By the way, you're going to have to pay for all your tests in the Phuket Sandbox model. I don't remember. That's what I was looking for was the article that says how much it costs. I'll try to get that tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll try to talk about some more positive stuff, like when you get here, some places to go and visit and some things to do. And then channel members will have a live stream after the normal live stream. Now let me catch the comments. I'm not going to be done yet. Lyle still has a challenge out there. 55 more US dollars and Lyle will pay 20. All going, of course, to DoMoreLife and the channel and me and the situation that I'm currently in right now. Let's see. Lee, I agree with Lee that the whole situation is fluid. I absolutely agree with that statement. Anon says, I remember my concern last March 2020 when making sure I could get in the country before it did. Before the country locked down. Right. Worried until I cleared immigration at the airport. Same thing right now with the sandbox. Too many questions. I agree. JX says that means they can restrict moving activities like locking you in your hotel. That's right. Anon says, JX, how would you like to be on your flight and find out that sandbox closed during that flight? That's a big fear and an excellent point, Anon. Excellent point. Jay says exactly. Thailand is off my list right now, but at least they are trying. Fair enough, Jay. I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. Until they get some concrete working tourism models over here, I don't blame anybody, to be honest with you. Anon says you pay for all your tests while in ASQ as well. It's bundled into the price. Well, at least yours is bundled into the price. I'm not sure if all of them are in the sandbox model. So good point. Lyle says, come on, 55 USD more. That's awesome. Solo Rose, thank you for the $2 super chat. Appreciate that, bud. Thank you very much. So I'll start winding it down. Lyle, I told you I didn't think we were going to hit the hit the mark on the second challenge, which is totally fine. I appreciate you guys' contributions, everybody that contributed earlier, and we'll start to wrap this thing up now. It doesn't feel like I've been talking for 2 hours, that's for sure. And I says, well, I take that back. Once again, Lee has just come through with $55, Lyle. So you have to pay it. Lee, I thank you and I love you, brother. I really do. I appreciate you coming through so much that you've been doing in the last couple of weeks. There it is. Just came through right there. Really appreciate that, man. Really, really, really appreciate that. More than you possibly can imagine. That's going to be a big day for DoMoreLife and for the things that are coming up. So I really genuinely appreciate that, Lee. And everybody else that sent in cash. Robert V just sent in $10 through the Cash App. Robert, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I will send you a nice little heart to show my appreciation. And you can see the R up there, but that's from Robert V. $10. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate that. That goes above and beyond the challenge there. We will wait for Lyles to come in, and then we'll wrap it up. Anon says, no, in the sandbox model, nothing is bundled. Okay, there you go. So you have to pay for everything separately. Anon says, JX, I am here as an expat retiree. As a tourist, I would go elsewhere, 100%. Yeah, Can't disagree. Can't disagree. Can't disagree. If you're going as a tourist, there are many places to go. I want to see Thailand's tourism revive as bad as anybody else. Really, I do. But right now, just may not be the time, guys. May not be. Maybe. Don't know. Lee, you absolutely rock. Thank you, Lyle. Ralph says you rock. Lee and Lyle, I agree. And I says Lee, woohoo. Charles says Lee saves the day. Yes, yes, he did. Lyle says Lee, thank you. We want Jeremy to continue this channel. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Jeremy wants to continue this channel, and we will. Charles says good job, Lyle. I agree. I agree. You guys have done an excellent job today. So while I'm waiting on Lyles to come in, I just want to send some thank yous to the people that did contribute today. And let's start off with Ross. Ross, thank you very much. I appreciate that very much, sir. Mr. Charles White, thank you for your contribution. Mr. Richard Cyphers, thank you for your contribution. Genuinely appreciate it, all you guys. Mr. Joseph, thank you for your contribution. Appreciate that. Then we had Lee with his first 25 that he contributed. Then we had Mr. Lau with 30. Then we had Mr. Ralph. Thank you very much for your contribution as well. And then we had Lee kick off the second challenge, or end the second challenge with another $55, which is absolutely amazing. And Lyle has just sent in his 20 to match it up. So Lyle, all I can say, bud, is thank you. His real name's on here, which is why I'm not showing it. But he just sent in the 20. Absolutely fantastic day, guys. We had some super chats and a lot of information for you guys, a lot of things to take into consideration. I would encourage you to leave comments down below in this video on what you think about the information in this video. Comments really seem to be how YouTube is picking up on their algorithm is favoring more interaction now and watch time. So you guys absolutely rock today. Thank you so much for your incredible, generous contributions. Can't believe it, but thank you guys. We did about $200. In fact, I'll tell you exactly how much we did today. You guys know I'm transparent with you, so I'll tell you exactly what the number is as soon as it pulls up here. Well, we did $189.43. So that's absolutely and that's a very noteworthy day for the channel, and I'm really super. Oh no, we didn't. We did more than that. That's through PayPal. $189.43 through PayPal, and then we did 30 in Cash App, because we had Griffin's 20 and Robert's 10. So if you add the 30 to the to basically 190 there, then we're looking at about 220. So absolutely wonderful day, guys. Thank you so much for everything. Yeah, and thank you for the super chats as well. Really appreciate that. That'll all come in next month. Always a good thing to have a little bit of AdSense revenue coming in. That's a great thing. Lee says cheers. I appreciate that. Tomorrow, guys, same time, same place. We'll be going over some different topics. And if there is any more news today, wow, we just had an extra PayPal come in from One Hungry Traveler, which we don't see very often. That's pretty cool. So I'm sure he sent the 20 in to make it even on PayPal. But One Hungry Traveler sent in $20 US. How about that? Amazing, guys. Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, everyone. I genuinely appreciate it. I don't know what to say other than I genuinely appreciate it. And it makes me feel good about taking the time out to spread the news, share the word, and have the conversation with you guys. So I really, really, really genuinely appreciate everybody that helped out today. I really do. I hope you guys got a lot of value out of today's live stream, and I'm certain you'll get more value out of tomorrow's live stream. I have a couple little plans for what I want to detail in tomorrow's live stream as well. So if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up on your way out. If you think other people need to hear it, feel free to share it across your social media. If you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to do so. If you're not a channel member, why not? It's always available. With that being said, absolutely, I want everyone to stay safe, be patient. Good things are coming, especially to Thailand. I really, really love you guys. Thank you to all my moderators who contribute so much information and also help so much with this channel. Cannot say it enough. Thank you to all my channel members for being channel members. You guys help support the channel. I appreciate that. And again, my heart goes out to everybody that contributed monetarily today. Just can't say thank you enough for that. So tomorrow will be more informative, and it says tomorrow JC is going to show us how to use the bump. No. I'm sure you can find tutorials already on YouTube for that one. Thank you guys for making this an awesome day. I cannot say how much love and support I appreciate it. Travel TV, you take care of yourself, brother. And with that, I will see you guys tomorrow. Everybody stay safe. Have a blessed day. And whatever you do, be sure you do more life. See ya.